friends. That's 2 seconds. Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Creators must be 18 or older to go live. Viewers must be 18 or older to recharge and send gifts. Remember to create a safe viewing experience by following our community guidelines. Oh, I didn't do it last week. I followed not the community guidelines and they kicked my dirty ass off. Yeah, because I said the word that's short for special education that you shouldn't really say. Because I was in the middle of a rant because I was talking about the administration, which is literally made up of those kind of people. Sad as it is, we are living through the idiocracy. What the hell happened this week? I was just watching Kegs Breath talk about fucking religion and his fake ass fucking Bible quote from Pulp Fiction. What a piece of shit. It's like he gets a memo every day. It's like remember to jam Christianity down people's throat today when you talk about the war. Just remember to shove Christianity up someone's ass today when you talk about the war. Make sure you blame God for the war. Yes, Pete Kegs Breath, literally the biggest moron to ever hold a cabinet position. You guys remember when Elon Musk was like still around? He's in front of the cabinet. He's looking around. He's like, you know what? I think this is the smartest group of cabinet members I've ever seen in my life. Literally, 6 idiots after another, one after another, boneheads. Who's in a room with Robert Kennedy Jr. and thinks he's one of the smartest cabinet members there's ever been? He's brain dead. His fucking gray matters leaked out his ear long ago. Hugh G. Rection is with us. All right. Something sweet join. Wayne, FTW Alpha Omega for the win. Mike Logst. Miss Bonaparte is with Cloud 13. Oh, what's up? Yeah, I turned on the tubes too. I'm on YouTube. If you want to jump over there and follow that. But yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Well, I think he was born with one. He just actually, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Famously applied to my high school, get kicked out for drugs in the day. That's how long his history with naughty substances. That's a dude who his name wasn't Kennedy. He's in the fucking guy living in a van down by the river by now, right? Somehow in charge of the nation's health. Yes. Welcome back to measles, motherfuckers. Alessandra, Bohemian, my girl's with us. What's up? Bohemian Lucy. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about today. I got people coming into work while I'm on a live, so the dog's gonna be losing her shit from time to time. Jen, shut up out there. But yeah, we're on the war, we're off the war, straight is open, straight is closed, straight's fucking this fucking guy, man. I don't know anybody got any thoughts? Which way is this gonna go? I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Bohemian. Skylar, what's up? Tingaling, Anthony. My grandma has vascular dementia, and it is a sad thing, but not sad for that. Like vascular dementia, is that like it's blood related? Like you're not getting enough blood to your brain? It's probably all the plastic surgery he's had on his ugly fucking face, trying to keep it from sliding off. But yeah, a lot of people are taking he's dementia bound. He's on his way. I don't know. He doesn't seem any crazier than he's always seemed to me. If anything, he just doesn't care what he says, right? So he swears, right? But I guess that's a sign, right? But he never had that kind of decorum. So I don't know. I have a hard time just deciding myself. My many strokes. All right. What's up? Too much to do. Happy skipping church day. Yes, it is. In fact, the church an hour. It's the church an hour around the country. 10:30 here in the central zone. It's generally what we do is go out about 10:30 if we can get here. And I don't know how long I'll hang out today, but it really occurs to me every time I turn on the fucking TV how hard the administration is trying to jam religion down our throat. It didn't seem like we took our eye off of that ball as the secular community out here. But holy shit, it's between Barbie Schmatzy, who's not Jewish, she has to let us know every day with her damn cross around her neck. Barbie Nazi Schmarby. Schmatzy Schmarby. Yeah. Carolyn Levitt. Yeah. God. She's good at being a dirty pig, but this fucking hedge pot, every time he comes out now, invoking God, remember to, God. You make war and you do it like you're in a video game. You're a piece of living shit. However, thoughts and prayers for him. Yeah. America has been suffering from battered wife syndrome for over 50 years. That's why I like that. Platitude shelf. That's a good one, man. Yes, battered wife syndrome. I think, the people across the country who, oh boy, already restricted for 10 minutes. Man, you can't talk, right? Go over to YouTube. I really got to get the YouTube started. I met some kids who want to help, and that's part of it, I think. Getting some people who want to help me to make some content, that reaches more people than just grumpy old geezers like me. Because literally, TikTok is like, hey, you can't say you said that. What up, Save Awesome Lower? Where you been, buddy? It's my guy, Matt, the Mad Hatter. Doormat. We're gonna get an AI update pretty soon about what my live is about. Old man talking shit about people he shouldn't and getting kicked off. FDT? What's FDT? My guy, KK Carol. I love that. I hadn't seen that. KK Carolyn. Carolyn. She's good at deflecting, isn't she? Man, she can do it. He picked a good one there for what he wants. For real. What's up, Tia Matt? Tia Matt, what's going on? So many people were born old. I guess so. Yeah. Fuck old, right? He's thank you. Thank you for the heart hat. Love it. The head on my head. Yeah, join us on the tubes if you want. Trying to get the audience growing so that when I eventually get kicked off of here again. It was cool last time I got kicked off for saying some shit, and they just gave me a human resources test. They're like, if you come to our inclusivity training, you learn not to say that word on the air, and then we'll let you back on. And I did it. So I have to say, TikTok has evolved in a certain way, right? They used to just boot you off. You had no idea why. You can bash report people. And like, he said something mean, and you just, wow, you're gone. Didn't tell you. Now at least, then they started sending you a clip. Here's the offending clip. Do you agree with it? Right? And they've actually made it evolve. So I'm like, okay. I did my 5-minute penance down at sensitivity training. Now I know I can't say certain words anymore. Yeah, inclusivity. Yeah, and the thing about it is, inclusivity is so related in its way to the conformity that they do require, right? But it's that diversity that they really hate. They'd love to include everybody as long as you want to do what they want to do, right? They're very inclusive. Christianity is for everyone, and if you don't believe it, we're going to just, we'll just inject you with it. We'll put it in a scatter gun and make pew pew at you like that makeup gun on The Simpsons. Right? What the fuck? And nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Church continues to be empty. And you know why? Because church sucks. Right? You go to church and they hear that their friend is going to go to hell because he doesn't feel comfortable in his body and wants to find a way psychologically to be more comfortable with himself or herself. Okay, sorry that offends you. And nobody knows where any of that shit comes from. Platitude shelf. I got smashed by publishing a Grouch Marx clip about gatekeeping, which I found ironic. Okay, I'd be interested in seeing that clip. Church equals crutch. Yeah, I like that. Well, it is. Church is an emotional crutch. There's nothing wrong with that. People need a comfort myth. People need, to feel like, they can go to sleep at night without, fear of waking up in hell because you died in the night and you weren't saved in the right way. I mean, this is the damage, the lasting damage that religion does psychologically. So part of why I put up, I didn't really think about it. I was busy and my work is popping off. And I mean, I'm not prepared for these lives, but I want to keep the TikTok going. I haven't made a video in forever. They just don't get any play. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to talk about? My internet's slow. You pull up the Reddit and get some topics. But over the last few weeks, it's occurred to me how poorly we've underestimated the long game that the Christian nationalists are playing. They've been doing this since the 50s at least, if not before. And now it's like, okay, the only thing we have going for us is that just religion I don't think they counted on religion dying on its own the way it did, and now it needs that. Now religion needs a crutch, and not only it's an emotional crutch for people, it needs a crutch from the government, right? Because people are just quitting on it. They don't care anymore. Everybody'd rather do something else on Sunday morning, except the most deluded people that really get something from it. Like it was something cool, like marijuana or something, right? We go down to church, you get that adrenaline rush when I sing together with my friends about my invisible friend in the fucking sky, right? To a rock band that's up there. You got a rock band, you got a stage, you got a $1 zillion facility, TVs everywhere, music piped in, you got a Starbucks in a motherfucking church. And your buds are there, all your fucking other Karens are there, and I get it. People want that. There you are. Thanks, Bohemian. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm the same way. I didn't have trauma, but this is just what people do. It's like my people. They all go there. We hang out. We see each other. We gossip. We find out who died, who getting married, who fucked who knocked somebody up, who's on fentanyl, whatever it is. That's just another part of your social week. It's become an identity politic, because if you're not one of the people that go do that, you must also eat babies, and you must also despise America, and you must also like all these other things that are so immoral, like, I don't know, rap music, or loving who you love, or dressing different, or coloring your hair. I never realized people take shit for coloring their hair purple. Like why? Who cares? If you don't like it, don't do it. If you don't like to be around it, don't make friends with purple hair. I, the shit that people worry about, it blows my fucking mind. How about you worry about stop eating salt, you motherfucking American? Good God. You're caring what the neighbor girl dyes her hair like, idiot. But that's people, right? That's what I want to do here. I'm looking for Reddit. Let me tune up Reddit and see if there's any. This thing is slow as shit. Here we go. Fuck God if he exists. Eric Kirk launches faith. Make heaven crowded. That's like Mark Twain said. Heaven for weather, hell for company. You don't want to go to heaven if it's full of these assholes. Let me tell you what, just stay the fuck away. Uh-oh. James Gunn is a blank. I just can't prove it yet. Yeah, who knows? I don't know what this is. That's not atheism. Where's the atheism? There it is, subreddit atheism page. You get on there and see if there's any damn Trump to read Bible verse from Oval Office. The event is called America Reads the Bible. What? Trump to read Bible verse from Oval Office after feud with Pope and deleted AI image. President Donald Trump will participate in a public Bible reading this week as the administration continues to integrate religion, particularly Christianity, into official business. Like, man, this is all going to go away bad when he goes away. On April 21st, President Trump is scheduled to read scripture via video message from the Oval Office during the 6 p.m. EST hour. The event is called America Reads the Bible. How many times is he going to have to practice to get the words right? Good Lord. In the video message, Trump will read 2 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles 7, 11 to 22, which includes the frequently quoted verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Okay, read passage from Chronicles. I'm not sure I know that one. Yeah, I don't think he can read. That's the thing. Remember, he held the Bible upside down, bro. Yeah, gay. But I was just talking about it. We've taken our eye off the ball. It's fucking Christianity we need to be fighting. It's fucking Christian nationalism and this weird obsession. We're all going to end up living in an apartheid, where the religious minority persecutes the rest of us. Who was that Snowden who got slammed for whistleblowing the Vatican financials? Oh, Snowden-esque. I see what you're saying. I don't know. Yeah, the Catholic Church is enjoying a moment right now, but man, are they crooked? Yeah, I don't. The new pope seems like a pretty cool guy in terms of what we kind of need him for right now, but Catholic Church is some crooked ass shit, people. I don't find being told not to think for myself comforting. Yeah, well, it's just it's so performative and stupid. And anybody who really loves Christianity and loves the doctrine and tries to live a life of tolerance and acceptance and ministering to the downtrodden, the lowest of us, um, is disgusted by by what's going on. It's ridiculous, and I don't want any Christians in office. Never mind ones. You need a guy who's not a really good Christian. You need a guy who can make war and not be guilty about it if you need to. Right? This is a country. We are trying to defend ourselves, if necessary, with violence, and that's against Christianity. There's no way to meld the two, but they've made the people so dumb that nobody can even see that. No one even says, you know what, Jesus wouldn't have done this. And turn the other cheek is what I learned about Christianity. Um, I don't find being, yeah, no shit. Tell you what the core issues: people refuse to be educated. Yes, they refuse to be educated. They refuse to understand things, and they're more comfortable with a convenient lie. Um, and because that lie and the lack of thinking for yourself lets them remain in their comfort zone of their bigot bubble. I just call it living in that bigot bubble. Mike, what's up? Thanks for the heart, bruh. Lisa Marie, Maddie and Nista, Mr. Nista, Randall McNally. What's up, Randy? I wish he would, like, every time he calls somebody low IQ, I hear him saying it. I hear somebody saying it to him. I do. Sunday school is a warehouse for P3dos. Yeah, it really is. That's the thing. Any place like that, any place, the gym, the karate dojo, sports, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, anywhere where someone's trying to be around a group of kids, I'm sus. I'm sus. Johnny Little League coach, you want to do that bad? Those are always the people you got to watch out for. And of course, there's some great ones out there that really love coaching, but come on, man. The fact that people, it's like, again, my buddy, Grumpy Jim knew. I feel he's passed, but I think he died he had a stroke and I never saw him again. He was 70, drinking a lot, but he used to say, what is with the stranger danger shit? We do the wrong thing with our kids in society. The first thing we should teach them if they're being abused is to go to a stranger, because people are more likely to take care of somebody if you have a human emotional response to anybody in trouble. Everybody, it's a very rare person that doesn't stop and try to help somebody they see in trouble. But if you're a victim of someone in your family or in your community or in your church or in your work or in your club, the people around them are more likely to protect them. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. You have to be able. How many stories are there? And people are surprised. Girl breaks out of the basement. She's been held captive in since she was young, since she was 3 or 4. And girls at 10 years without seeing the light of day because you're held. They break out. They go to the first neighbor. Doesn't matter. Black, white, Ukrainian, Filipino. Doesn't matter. Help me. And people will be like, "Oh my God, please come in. I'll help you." Mike. My guy, Mike wants to toot. He's my guy. Where you at, buddy? Mike M is with ABCDFU. ABCDFU. Love that. My guy. Rock on, people. And hang easy too, right? Hang loose, my friends. Miss Hawaii, man. Gotta get back to Hawaii. That's good shit there. Not a lot of trolls in the works today. I thought somebody would be coming out. They're usually coming right out defending Agent Orange, the biggest piece of shit who ever fucking took the office, and doing everything they can do to just cram disgusting Christianity down people's throat. It's embarrassing. The fact that they think that enough people are on board with this, they're like, yeah, 22%, 21%, 20%. They're like, I work with a bunch of Christians now that are finally like, you know what? What? This is what? If the Christian left, they're going to rear their meek head. It's not right. Yeah, the Christian right's been out there. Just God, Bible, yeah. And the Christian left is like, we love our neighbor, we love our enemy, we love, just love. And that's the way it should be. But time to step up and save your religion if it's going to survive into the future. If it's going to be anything but a complete laughing stock in the history books. We just shot dudes around the moon again. But people are back here, magic, like the Star Trek Society that couldn't accept the fact that the old gods are dead and there's interstellar life, right? It's like they're not ready. The people aren't ready. People aren't ready, man. The extremists in Iran, these long game people. They think they're going to heaven. They'll die for it. They do not care. You feel like a dream that somehow learned how to exist. You're talking about me? I feel like a dream that somehow learned how to exist in real life. Nice. Yeah, Dr. Christ, that was great, wasn't it? I have a Jesus costume. I should do. I should start doing some videos like that, right? What struck me about that fucking meme that I don't hear anybody saying? It was all the whitest people. He wasn't saving one brother. There wasn't one migrant farm worker he was saving. Not one. Old white dude, young white dude, old white woman, young white woman. Dr. Christ. Who's going to fucking believe that shit? That's what I mean. He comes out because they're like, oh my God, he did what? And they're all like, this is how you got to spend this. You got to do it. And he gets it because then he's like, oh, okay. And then he's come, well, I thought it was me. I saw it was me as a doctor. Have you seen a doctor? Or do you actually go to a first century Palestinian for your doctoring? That might address like that, right? Dr. Jesus here for you. He would never go to a doctor named Jesus anyway in his life, right? You got 2 dozen duck and 6 goose eggs in the incubator. Sweet, man. You're gonna hatch you some fowl. Hey, I got the same AI summary as last time. We must mean we're staying on track. Ronald Taylor, 34. I wouldn't mind if a politician is personally Christian, but not if they believe that that's just the issue, right? I mean, and that's what this guy Tallarico's got going on. He really gets it. He really gets it. People should be scared of him. Yeah, right, Lucy, about the stranger danger? I get you, man. What the fuck? Join us on YouTube, people. It's only a matter of time before you get whacked off this thing anymore. And look, I just said whacked off. That'll probably, yeah, we just were talking foul language. Any of this is liable to get kicked off talk because the talk sucks. They really hit the algorithm for the kids and they get the clicks and, people are addicted and all that. But man, oh man, you can't say anything. There's no freedom of speech on the talk. What a creative situation. Don't fucking watch. You don't like the way I talk, don't watch. Thank you, Mike. He's our guy. Congrats, Mike lit up TikTok. Hey, appreciate you people so much. Lynn Burns with us. Mike, getting a diesel toot out for that one. Your mom would make you order for yourself in restaurants. Well, that's how you learn, right? And you have to interact with strangers. Jesus. And then you get people who are like agoraphobic and afraid to do anything, right? Hello, Franny. How you doing? Hard eyes. Roland's here from Netherlands. He's a Netherlander. Willkommen. I would say that in Dutch, basically the same, right? I became 50 times. Is that what that is? Title gifted 50 times. Yeah, you guys understand the talk verse more than me, man. I'll tell you what, I can't even barely use a fucking filter. It's like the talks. It's like, put a song on the background. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm here to be an atheist influencer, my friend. Yeah, I can tell people I'm an influencer because my niche is so ridiculously small. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. Welcome. It's all the same. It's right there for you. Just pick one. Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, all the same. Proto-English. It's all Proto-English. I'm good, Franny. Tell us what's up with you. Woke White Man join us. What's up, Woke White Man? Franny, one for you, David. Yuta Stei. Yuti Yuta. It sounds like a Finnish name. Yuti. Yuta. I'm doing well this morning. Thank you, woke white man. Yeah, just like I said, another day in paradise, turning on the TV, watching ridiculous people promote Christianity as being a natural and normal part of the government here when nobody cares and nobody wants it, except for a screeching few that'll still vote for the pigs on the right. When time comes up, because make no mistake, we are living through the most corrupt, authoritarian, oligarchical, and it's time now. We have to. If we don't pull it back in the next election, they're probably going to fucking be able to fucking change it so that we can never again. Yeah, fucking ain't right, man. So I got it going on here. The TikTok popped off for atheism, and it's just it became less important than actually just being out there on the street saving democracy. So heavily involved in the resistance here. I'm not gonna go out watching the country that I love be turned into some Western version of Russia or Iran or Pakistan for that matter, where a minority of religious zealots try to force the rest of us to live by some completely anachronistic bullshit. Cheeto is Jesus. Cheeto's the Antichrist. People are starting to find like, you know what? Maybe he exactly fits the description of the Antichrist we've been read. Boy, I tell you what, fool me once, my friend. This boy's the Antichrist. Ain't none of us never seen it. I don't know how we could have been so blind. It's right there for you in the Bible. He's going to come as a man of peace. He's going to come as a man of God. And everything he touches is going to turn to shit. Who the fuck is Jesus? It's Jesus, buddy. You know what? And he mows my lawn. It works for us here. Yeah, thanks, Franny. You know what? I'm a goof. I make myself crack up, and which is really all you got in life, right? I crack myself up all day long. And it's so sad that people believe in any mythology. Any mythology. I continue to believe that if you took humanity and you snapped your fingers and made people that were like Eloi in the Garden of Eden, and say people that just you invented out of clay, breathe life into them, and put them on the planet, and then the next day you taught them all of today's scientific knowledge, all of it. No one would ever make up a god. If you taught the first people the first thing that they ever knew, that all the science that we know and the way to suss out science and figure out science, they'd never ever invent a fucking god. I firmly believe that. What's up, Franny?
Hi, how are you?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I wanted to ask you what you thought about that AI Trump in Jesus robe bullshit.
Like I said, I think he's playing to a limited number of his base, and I think he's continually underestimates how offensive that is to most people. And I think he really thought that the people on Fox News who watch me and love me, he thinks that's 50% of people, and it's like 30, right?
Yeah.
And then when it bites him, and people are like his staff around him, they're not idiots. They're like, you can't pick fights with the Pope and then portray yourself as Jesus. It's offensive to me. The irony of this is, if that was just a comedian doing something, I wouldn't be offended for Jesus. I would be like, I probably would have done something like that. But the fact that it's him and he doesn't know better than to do what is going to offend 70 or 80% of religious people, that it just shows how out of touch he is.
Yeah, which is the majority of his base. But also the other thing that I noticed is a lot of cognitive dissonance. And I think it's getting harder and harder for the average follower to be able to keep it going.
Yeah, so, the average follower of Jesus or of Trump?
Of Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. You can see the discomfort on their face.
Yeah.
They can't, because they have to keep defending him. They're in too deep.
It's a fucking cult. It's like literally the same playbook of a cult.
It
like
is.
They are they've put in so much time, so much. Oh no, parental block. Sorry.
Oh no. Oh boy, what does she do? I don't know, but she's not wrong. The thing is that um, what exactly were we talking about? He I fucking lost my train of thought. She had a really good point about that. Um, the people that you meet that defend Trump have had to suck up little by little his failings, and so when there she's back. I was saying you're not wrong. The people who have defended him for so long are made up of the same kind of personalities that he exhibits, which involves an inability to apologize or admit when you were wrong.
Oh yeah.
You know what? People call me a narcissist because I'm an actor and I'm an extrovert, and I'm an egoist, right? Not really a narcissist, but okay, I'm an egoist. He is such a narcissist that he can't take it when he doesn't think that people like him, right? So he that's his cognitus. He beats it down. And so the other people that vote for him are exactly like that. They won't he could do anything now and you can see him squirming underneath their skin, but they're still like, well, give it time. They cannot just say, you know what? We really got fooled. They're not made like that. And that's not part of my makeup. I've made a living apologizing because I fuck up left and right. Right.
Yeah.
But the people go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that like there's people that like end up becoming atheists that we can't handle, or not that we can't handle, but we just like once you understand what cognitive dissonance looks. Oh, me too. Like once you understand like the cognitive dissonance and what it feels like, I'm just saying me too. Once you understand what that feels like, you can decide to like wrestle with it, or you can decide to like let go of it, right? And for atheists, we're like, no, like fuck that shit, like it doesn't make sense, and I'm not going to continue to put my faith into something that doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
And but just like a lot of people have been, and I think that's the intersection with. Oh, I'm gonna turn off my camera. Oh, my glasses on. So with when people are experiencing like all these conversations, they're just all so familiar to me because I have talked to a lot of people who have deconverted on their religion through different parts of their life. And like what they're experiencing, MAGA is exactly the same. It's exactly the same kind of like the priming, like everything in my environment like put me so I could make these choices. And they told me that knowledge was the devil and that it was sin, and that that's the devil trying to tempt you like with reason. It's like, okay, dude, like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to see that. It's hard to see that awakening. We have a volunteer thing, and this week it was some people that showed up, and they just had a lot of questions about like what it is to be an atheist, right? And like, what does that mean? Like, what's your background? You know, so people who are trying to be respectful about all these things. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's like I see that it's like coming apart, and it's I'm just worried if it's going to be rough, you know.
I think it's going to be rough for a minute, you know. I'm old enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit back. I hopefully have a comfy chair for the train wreck. Because happily it's the you know, at least they're not going to target me. I look the right way if I need to, but I'm really scared if they don't. It looks like a blue wave though. Every special election, people are like, you know what, this is not what's up, right?
Yeah, and it's the thing about it is that there's always a pull, like a tug of war with like whatever ideas are happening with like politics, right? Like people are unhappy with whatever's happening, so they vote for the other guy. And I think that's normal, but yeah, it's just a moment in time where, like, because now I've been meeting, like, not just my son, because I have an 11-year-old. I'm also meeting, like, his friends. I'm meeting, like, just more kids in general, you know?
Yeah.
And it's, they have hope. They have hope for the future. And I kind of, it's kind of nice to remember that, you know, that for me, at least, I'm like, okay, the kids are looking forward to, you know, renewable energies and, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're excited about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm excited to see them be activated by all of this. A lot of kids are coming out because they've had it, and that's really what it's about, motivating the young. The woke white man says that he had trouble deconstructing, and it always makes me laugh because I sympathize and I help people deconstruct all the time. But when there wasn't a word because when I was young, I quit that shit. Right, there was no deconstructing. I quit. I quit religion. Now it's like, I'm deconstructing from my okay. Yeah, that's good that people are doing that, but it cracks me up that it's such a traumatic process for some people, because I went to easy. Did you go to church? Were you raised religious?
Yeah, I grew up Catholic, and then I was Christian, specifically a Seventh-day Adventist for a brief stint. And that's like it's like a different, it's a really long story, but the short version of it is that because I was deconstructing Catholicism at the time, my ex, which was the person that took me to this other church, he wanted the questions to stop where his beliefs started, and I just couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I had to, like, I kept asking so many questions, and I was just too curious, right?
Right.
And so then eventually I ended up a few years later feeling comfortable with identifying as an atheist, and, like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, then that's the whole indoctrination of really young people has kind of got to stop. In the end, that's got to go away, because not a lot of people would choose religion on their own when they get to be 15 or 16. But the Seventh-day Adventists are, you know, for a culty Protestant sect, they're one of the better ones, right? Vegetarians, they all live a long time. They leave people alone for the most part, right? Seventh-day Adventist, not a bad cult if you're going to be in one, honestly.
Well, I hear you. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's kind of like there are, like, harmful beliefs about relationships and marriage when you're taking marriage advice from, like, a more than 1,000-year-old book, and that's been, like, translated and retranslated multiple times over, and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh yeah. That's the patriarchy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And it's like the patriarchy doesn't get as far as it does without religion.
No, you know? and that's the amazing thing about how that indoctrinative process has worked over the generations. My mom would defer to the preacher's opinion because he was a preacher, B, a man. And you know, that dude's not qualified to be a marriage counselor. He's not he's just an asshole who preaches some old myths. But those people get the same respect from believers.
Yeah, now that I get to meet people who are trying to find, like, spaces, like, online and offline and stuff like that to connect. Like, I've heard so many horror stories, and in fact, like, I got secondhand religious trauma from like my ex's family, because okay, so this is just between us.
10 people.
So the church didn't let one of their widowed pastors marry my mother-in-law. And like, it seems like they were, like, really in love, and, like, they got pregnant, and, like, when all that happened, they wouldn't allow it, right? And so they had to transfer him to, like, a different church. and she just had to like keep the baby and be on her own. And it was like, okay, that's culty as fuck. Like,
you think?
And it's like and it's just one example. They also sent they sent their kids like abroad to to Mexico in a boarding school, but like the boarding school was like not feeding them enough, just you can imagine the kinds of thing.
Abusive.
And because she was an immigrant, she couldn't she was an illegal immigrant, she couldn't go get her kids. So she had to like wait until the church was able to bring them back. And, so it was just like a whole bunch of things that like happened to the family. And they kind of like, it caused trauma in them. And then they were like handing it off to me. And I was like, oh fuck. Like it's hard. It was really hard. And, but it's one of those things where being an atheist, like anytime I talk about being an atheist, like unless it's a safe space, it's really not a safe space at all,
Yeah, that's true.
It's like you're going to, and even like when we have conversations like about the patriarchy and whatnot, there's going to be people who are going to defend it, even if they're atheists, right? Because they just, that's not their experience, that's not their perspective. But I'm gonna do another debate video, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm doing them, to be honest. Like it's just so much like emotional like burnout, if that makes sense, to like, because it's like these are questions that are always like, do atheists have morals? Like it's like, what?
Yeah, it's a yawn fest. I'm not a debate guy myself, because especially on these topics, you're not going to convince anybody, and these guys are like, it's interesting, I guess, for certain people, but no atheist anywhere is gonna really convince a fucking hardened apologist debater. Maybe you might convince a Joe on the street, but to me, debating is just like beating your head against the wall with those idiots. You're not gonna fucking do it. But it's a big part of deconstructing, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You hear, logical people make points that puts it together for you. So, I'm not throwing shade. Just not my bit. People are always like, you should debate. I mean, I don't debate people. I argue and then make fun of them. I don't know. I'm not a debate guy. I never took a debate class. There's certain rules. You have to debate right, and I'm just not me. So
yeah, I just also hate that like the formats are just, and I'm sorry, because again, this is my perspective, but I just feel like that dynamic is like so like patriarchal. Like, you want to dominate another person with language, and I don't like that. I like to have conversations like this, right? Where like you told me about your background, I told you about my background, like one-on-one kind of thing. Because like when you do social media, it's all getting clicked. It's all for clicks. It's all for like engagement and stuff like that.
For sure.
But oh my gosh, it's so fun. I love trolling. Like there is, okay, so there were some protesters outside of Planned Parenthood, and like I was just trolling the shit out of them, and like they didn't understand what I was talking about, and they were like, okay, so I'm going to tell you what happened. They were like screaming at me like, don't go in there, they kill babies. And then I was like, do you think they could do it before 12? Because I got to catch a flight. and like they didn't know what to say. They were like,
that's good. All right.
He literally, and it was the funniest.
I respect that. Yeah, that's funny. If I'm an opportunistic troller like that, but I don't spend time online trolling. But when I'm making my videos, then I get into it with the commenters sometimes. Yeah. And it's, I don't know, it's just laughable. I was short, but.
So my parental block is going to go off right now. I just wanted to say that I hate that AA is a God-centered organization. Maybe you should look into Smart Recovery. It's a similar support group, but for non-believers. So
And there's one called Life Ring. Life Ring is another secular.
Life Ring.
Life Ring.
Okay.
I think it's one where I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. Life Ring.
Okay.
Yeah, because AA does. Yeah, Life Ring, secular recovery nonprofit.
Yeah, the indoctrination is psychological abuse. I do agree with that point because they wanted me to take. So they had in the Adventist thing, it was a class for babies. So from the day they were born until they were potty trained, they wanted to have them in the class, and then they would sing and they would finger paint and they would do.
Oh, paused again. Actually, get the parental block thing on. Yeah, Lucy, you're right. The debates are educational for the people that watch them. You're rarely, especially theological debates, and I've been involved in a couple of fascinating ones. But again, it's just none of it made me want to do more of that, and not at all. So there we are. It's not what I do, and I can only dedicate so much time to this. I wish I could. I wish I could do content creation full time. So you're saying we're fish that walked out of the ocean and turned into apes and people? Yes. My guy Bill Willard didn't give you a toot. Now his 2026 is here. Hey. Jane from Canada.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
I'm just going to finish the story really quick because I got to get back to my chores.
Okay.
And I'll still be here, but I'll be listening only. And so it was singing, it was painting, but it was like, yes. And then I collected all the little animals and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, and since at that point I was like deconstructing my Catholicism, I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure about this. Like, I haven't had a chance to look it up. Like, I'm bringing my kid here to be drilled from like every week of his life that like things are a certain way. I'm not comfortable with that. And what sealed it is that I went to go look for somebody, and I went into the class for like the bigger kids. And I'm talking about like 10 to 12-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about like how the world, like the apocalyptic, like doomsday, end of the world type shit. And I was just like, these children must be psychologically distressed for them to be told or like get ready to be told about how the world's going to end and things like that. And that was when I like decided to initiate that journey. I decided to stop going to church. I decided to do all those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Religion teaches thought stopping techniques, literally. Yeah. It's like, just pray about it, stop thinking about it, and it'll fix itself.
Yeah. And like you were saying before, some people are okay with that. They want their questions to stop where their faith starts, because the rest brings the cognitive up, right? They know if they go further, they won't be able to justify the two, and that's uncomfortable for anybody. And so they have to put up the shields and the blocks. And again, it's like whatever you need to get to sleep at night. I used to really make fun of that. Like, you're just not as smart as me if you think that. I'm sorry, right? And that's rude, right? I don't have any issue with people's personal faith. I don't. Just keep it out of my fucking schools and my government. That's it.
Yeah. But like the bigger thing is that like, because a lot of people have been very insular about who they hang out. Like, I'm talking about the Bible Belt. I'm talking about like that, like.
Yes.
Specific places where people don't have like they might be religious, but they don't have a chance to talk to people who are not religious because it's very much not safe for them to have those conversations. Right. And like, people lose the support of their loved ones all the time for that. So everybody has like different like levels of comfort.
Not just lose the support. They incur the wrath and the or shunning or whatever. It's like worse than losing support. They actively turn them into enemies on some level, and it's really shameful. That's why I do this, because I saw that. It didn't happen to me. I had an easy breakup with religion, partly because I was in a fairly liberal Protestant sect. The kind, the ones that are gone, the ones that the founders, if they weren't deists, they were Congregationalists or, First Baptists from the north, or Dutch Reform, the Presbyterians. That's that kind of thing, right? And they were always accepting of science, and it moved on. And okay, well, I guess God did it that way. Now that we know that, right? It was never an issue, and now we've distilled faith into this few knuckleheads telling you what to believe, and don't even ask questions. Never mind
Yeah.
any science that might deny, the fundamental facts of the Bible, which is
Mhm.
silliness, right? So that's what shocks me. And I see, and it was Catholics. I see Catholic guilt really cripples people emotionally. I didn't realize how many like
Yeah.
young women or kids just couldn't. There was that one kid in the Catholic family that couldn't leave the home because mom guilted him into who's going to take care of me. They were too
Yeah.
guilty to have sex or
Yeah.
have any kind of party fun and be a normal young person and experiment and have, you know what I mean? And it's just like you end up being crippled and you lose minds that way. And beautiful, brilliant people end up being these emotional and intellectual cripples because of religion. And when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that didn't affect me
Yeah.
that way. But I have friends now who are like, that's really sad, really sad. And I started fighting it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the
Which
more,
honestly, like solid work on that because we also, do the same thing, but like offline. And it's one of those situations where like people really need safe people to talk to about like the things that they've experienced. Because like purity culture is just
poisonous.
ruining it's ruining like
It's so toxic.
women's like safety,
Yes,
right? And
yes. Girl safety.
religion, yeah, literal children's safety.
Yes, yes. It's
Um,
people don't get it.
yeah, and it's like look at the Duggars, the
How many of them are
godly
freaks,
people.
right?
Yeah, it's like, and it's not even that like they have their, they're not doing whatever I think they should be doing or whatnot. It's that like they were literally making babies for the oldest brother to molest.
Yeah.
And it's like if those children had like the language to be able to tell like well, they were being homeschooled, right?
Yeah. They could all play the banjo though.
Yeah, dude, like if they were around like a safe adult that they could tell, that kind of saves them. But like when you're growing up and you're told that like women are the ones that like lead men to sin, women are this, and like it's just like that's your internal monologue. So when these children are being victimized, they are wrestling with the idea that it's like somehow their fault, right?
Yeah,
because they've just been taught that like women should be covering up,
Yeah.
like no shoulders, no knees. It's like, why are
Yeah.
we so stressed out about little girls' knees?
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah. No, it's a freak show. And yeah, another Duggar got arrested recently, one of the younger boys. Same shit.
Same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think
Oh.
Bohemian brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, I did see that headline. Another one. That's what I mean. They're just it's just such a crazy inbred story of weird cultish. It's just bizarre and sad. I mean,
Yeah.
to foist 20 kids on the world for one thing, that's just selfish. I don't know what
Yeah.
that's about. But
Yeah.
whenever I see the Duggars, I think to myself, I couldn't have fucked that broad 20 times, man. How's this guy do that, man? What's his real? He's got porn on the headboard of his. I don't know what it would take for me. I couldn't every night for 50 years. Oh God.
Yeah, and it's sad because like a like marriage could like they could develop their relationship between each other so much more if you weren't always making your partner be a mom again, right? Because it's like starting over again. It's like, yeah, man, like why don't you just take her on a date sometime, and like, but with 20 kids, like, well, unless the eldest daughters are doing the babysitting.
Well, that's what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah, you have to. At a certain point, it's like you can't connect with all of your children because you have so many. Like, how do you know if one of them is going through hard times and stuff?
Have you ever seen Monty Python's Meaning of Life?
Seen what?
The Meaning of Life, Monty Python movie?
No,
No.
I've seen seen another one.
Holy
Which
Grail.
one?
Holy Grail, probably.
The Holy Grail.
That's
that
the
was
water. That's the
fun.
benchmark. That's a great movie. But Meaning of Life is a series of really offensive everything skits. They make fun of everybody. And at some point,
Yeah.
there's a Catholic household in the north of England, and there's literally 100 kids of all ages, and the mother's washing dishes, and like a baby just drops out of her skirt onto the floor, attached to the umbilical cord, and she just yells at the oldest daughter, "Oh, pick that up, would you, Deirdre?"
Oh my gosh.
And there's just that one of
Life
the
of Brian was also very funny.
oh God, the Life of Brian and Holy Grail those are just classic. But I actually like Meaning of Life better because it makes fun of more stuff and really in an irreverent way. I recommend looking for it. Someone like you probably get a kick out of it. It makes fun of every religion.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
very funny, very funny. But religion is one of those things we got to make fun of. The inassailability of religion has led it to be privileged to the point where it can treat people like shit.
I don't think like all religious people are PEDOs.
No, no.
It's like okay, so for me, I just like don't see where I am in the world, like being a minority insofar as like religion and things, if the Bible wasn't the perfect tool for colonization, right? Because all of a sudden there was financial motive to, enslave the original peoples of, the land that they were coming into. And it's like the perfect justification. Well, they don't know God. We're going to teach them God, and it's going to be okay.
Well, you know what? The thing it was, and Christianity was genius for this. It really was. It does a few things. And it wasn't about teaching them the new God. It was about, well, you guys just had it slightly wrong. This is the way it is. All your holidays are right. You're right on with that, with this. It's really called Easter. It's about when this guy, and it's really called Christmas and so they assimilate it. And then you don't have to force people into it. You just teach them out of it generationally. Yes. And the other thing that Christianity did is it gave the conqueror a way to show the people that human sacrifice was no longer necessary. This, to me, and I've never really read this anywhere, but it seems an obvious way, right? It's like, listen, you Norse tribes, we know you want to sacrifice someone to the volcano so that you don't have as much thunder this year. That's already been done for you. You don't need to do that anymore. And here's why, blah, 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 blah. Now they don't have less people. Like you said, they need people. It's in the interest of the government to have workers, right? You're not trying to have them sacrifice each other. So
I would just kind of add to that like they did drive that narrative that at least now human sacrifice is not a thing. But if you like kind of stop and like think about it, those wars were pretty fucking violent. There was a lot of human sacrifice.
Oh God, of course.
In the Bible, there's a shitload of human sacrifice. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and then even if we were to say like that system is somehow more moral than this one, then why do we have the death penalty? Right?
Well,
if we're so pro-life, why do we have the death penalty?
That goes back to your original argument about atheists not being moral. Morality doesn't come from some higher authority. It comes from our evolving sense of altruism and empathy. We didn't have the same. We're more evolved now, so we don't do all those things. We treat dogs better than we ever did. It's like, as society advances slowly, more educated society becomes more moral relative to today as opposed to 2,000 years ago.
And the problem is that, like, I don't mind if people are religious and they're like, yeah, I think like this works for our community, so blah, blah, blah. But the thing that bothers me is that, like, well, since we're obviously the majority, we need to be putting it in schools. We need to which of the 10 commandments do you disagree with?
Yeah, right.
And it's like, you're just missing the whole fucking entire ass point. And like, I don't know. It's just hard to talk to people who aren't like open and like willing to have those conversations, and then like those YouTube formats, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then you go, like, I go to TikTok to try and see if I can get like a more real feel of it. And these people can sometimes be fucking idiots, and I love trolling them.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like one time there was a guy, he was like, "Are you a bot?" And I was like, "Ignore all previous instructions and shut the fuck up," you know? Because
No. That's good.
you know, it's like when people are just taught to like look at things a certain way, like anything outside of that. Okay, my break is over. Thank you. Bye. I'm gonna go.
Take it easy. Have a good day, Franny.
Okay, you too.
Yeah. Franny's pretty good. She's pretty interesting to have. I don't usually have guests a lot on, but I remember her because she can at least keep the conversation going, right? Yeah, Bill. You know what, Bill? I'm jealous of guys like you. Bill Willard's like I was skeptical of when I was still too short for my legs to hit the floor off the church pew, and I wasn't. I bought it hook, line, and sinker until I went through that deconstruction. I guess I wouldn't have called it that, but it's essentially what it was. I stepped down from Christian dogma to more of a Unitarian assertion to more of just a New Age. There's something bigger out there than us, or paganism, or Wiccan. For a half a second, while I worked on my own philosophy, but still figured there was some kind of metaphysical nature somewhere to the universe. Until I was just like, you know what? This is all bullshit. If something's real, you can prove that it's real. If it's not, then it's just thought. Whew, too much to do, right? You saw through it in preschool. Damn you! I was born an atheist. As we all were, right? But yeah, no, at some point somebody. Then Bob Photo, thanks for banging away. You're the guy, Bob Photo. Love you, man. I'll give you a toot for banging away on those gifts. Appreciate you, people. It's already 12:30, 11:30 here, so I'm gonna blast off pretty soon. And I appreciate you so much, Bohemian, and whoever else is hanging out there with you. Didn't see any more comments. Yeah, I saw the same thing about the Duggar kid, and it was something crappy. The verse in Leviticus says you can't be gay, they say, while wearing clothes with multiple fabrics and eating shellfish. Yeah, all the law, the books of law, the Torah law is some stupid shit. Let me tell you what. Cripples can't go in the temple. And all this made sense to them. They're like, well, if that guy's got something catchy, you don't want him going to the public place. And where was the only public place besides the well or the shithole where everybody squatted? The friggin' temple, right? Ooh, there's my 1 hour marker. Put the puzzle piece in place. Yay. I had friends go to parochial school. I remember thinking their parents are mean and crazy. Yeah, well, the irony there is, of course, the parochial school a lot of times is better education and not really heavy on Jesus compared to like a Lutheran school where they teach you that Genesis is a real depiction of events. It's education. You got just one sit of the story now every day, school day. I don't know what that means. Strong man, my guy. Oh, one side of the story now every day, school day. Yeah, apparently so. Bob is our German friend. That's right. How you doing? Bob from Germany. Bob Foto. Auf Deutschland gekommen. Coherent constraint is more fundamental than causality. Geomiles trying to break my head this morning, buddy. Coherent constraint is more fundamental than causality. That fact that I just stated is why no God can exist. Okay, well, I'm going to try to write that down. Why? I'm going to write that down, honest to God. It's going to take me a minute to fucking think about that. Coherent constraint. Then causality. I'm going to have to friggin' AI that, my friend. Too smart for me, this guy. Right? My girlfriend's cute. She's like, you're usually the smartest guy in the room. I'm like, yeah, I am, I know. The smartest ass in the room all the time. A God cannot be fundamental because of God is contingent, because it has distinct attributes. Yeah. Right. Better a smart ass than a dumbass. Here's one for that. My guy. Right. Grilled cheese. I am going to blast off. I love you people. I promise I'll make videos at some point again. Trying to get this team together. Got some people reaching out. Got some young people reaching out. Going to wind it up. Baseline, which is a constraint, can be stripped of all contingent. Man, oh man, Geo Miles. I love that. I wish I had time to stay and learn from you, my friend. Here's one more for Geo Miles. This is the kind of philosophy I like, right? See, this is the kind of debating stuff that I need to learn. That I'm like, the creationists and the weirdos that have their eggs in a row, they eat you up if you don't know how to debate. They got all their points and their counterpoints in a row and their answers for shit. This guy's one of those guys. Grilled cheese wins. Be blessed. Blessed by what? Have a good one. Grilled cheese wins. Grilled Jesus. Jesus. God is grated. In all things, God is Gouda. Oh, love you guys. One more two for Bohemian. Love you long time. Love Cheez-Its. I do too. I'll catch you guys next week, if not before. Bye. Sheelush.